Now,
on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
7:06 here. It's O'Connor and Company on this Thursday, 4th day of January. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Coming up at 7:35, Rob O'Donnell, former New York City police officer, about the rising crime problem here in D.C. and in New York. 8:05, Taylor Hanson on the border. And at 8:35, Link Lauren on all things pop culture and politics. I'm Larry O'Connor alongside Mercedes Schlatt.
Hello, Larry. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
Well, thank you.
Well,
As I
my
said,
back is out after swing dancing with the girls, so I am in utter pain. Yes.
Was there Glenn Miller playing?
No, I can't remember the song we were doing, like kind of country swing dancing.
Oh,
it's
that's a thing now. Yeah, a lot of
it is a
people
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Well, you go. I'm not Meredith and I. You know how couples have their own like private.
Did you say
vows?
you're not a dancer?
Meredith and I actually, part of our wedding vows, it wasn't part of the ceremony, but we had our own little private agreement, was that neither of us would ever ask the other one to dance.
You're kidding me, really?
We do not enjoy dancing.
Are you serious?
No, we don't like. I don't mind a slow dance. Don't get me wrong, but no,
good
that
slow
whole,
dance.
Come on, everybody, get on the dance floor and see your moves. Nope, that's not going to happen.
No?
Not
Oh my
gonna
gosh, the Schlapp family, we love to dance.
That explains
We're big
a lot.
dancers. Yeah. Well.
Joining us right now, also, by the way, my understanding is a great dancer in his own right. After all, he was a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army for 20-year veteran, now running for the Republican nomination in the 7th District of Virginia, currently occupied by Elaine Spamberger. He is Jeff Sachs. Colonel Sachs, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Happy New Year. Great to be with you guys. And I've been known to break a leg a time or two on the dance floor, so appreciate it.
There you go.
I knew it.
If you're going to run for Congress, you got to dance. It's just the way it goes. Because you got to dance around those crazy Democrats. I'm telling you.
Well, listen,
Absolutely.
this is going to be a really important race. Spamberger's already announced that she's running for governor, so she will not be running for re-election. It's Virginia 7. It's got up until Spamberger, it has a long tradition of Republican representation. Tell me, Mr. Sachs, what makes you the difference maker? How are you going to swing this district back into the Republican column?
Yeah, so listen, I appreciate the question. You know, today I'm looking forward to making my case to the people of the 7th Congressional District. And so we do have a rally with Riley Gaines, my friend, who's going to be here today. But listen, I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And 2024 is a pivotal moment. I think everybody understands that. But it's also a time of solutions. And there, of course, this is an open seat. There's a lot of other great candidates that are out there that serve their country, and I appreciate that and I respect that. But this is going to be about solutions. You know, look at the other side. All they want to talk about is Donald Trump, January 6th, you sending money to Ukraine, and MAGA, 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 and threat. You know, the Republicans are nothing but a bunch of threats to democracy, and I don't stand for that. And so I'm going to be looking forward to making my case, and it's really about the future of our youth, and that's really what it's about.
It's a tricky district because it's gone back and forth, and how are you going to look to not only? I mean, obviously you've got the Republican primary, but then you've got bringing in these independents as well. So, you know, what when you're on the ground and you're talking to voters, what are they the most worried about?
Well, look, I think again, like I already said on the Democrats, all they want to talk about is those issues. But my response to that is, how is that going to give me more money in my pocket at the end of the month? How is that going to improve my 401ks? And that's what people really care about, is the economy. You know, how is it going to reduce prices of the you know, we see the high gas prices, we see the high food prices. Obviously, how is it going to make me more secure? If you look at the open border, you know, and I definitely applaud the speaker, that delegation yesterday going down to the border.
Yeah.
And it's the education. It's the education too, and we see a failing education system. So those are really what the people of the 7th really care about.
Jeff Sachs joins us. Sorry for interrupting you, Colonel. Jeff Sachs, I want to give the details. It's a Save America rally. It's today, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Silk Mill in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's open to everyone. So that's a rally officially announcing Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Sachs' entry into the race for the Republican nomination. And you mentioned Riley Gaines is going to be there with you. You know, let's be clear here. You know, Save America rally, you're running for Congress. You've got Riley Gaines there. Riley Gaines doesn't represent, you know, economic renewal. Riley Gaines does not represent, a better curriculum in our schools. She's there because of the gender wars. She's there because she represents trying to keep women's athletics and other private spaces that are supposed to be designed for women, for their safety, like locker rooms and bathrooms, free from transgender women and biological men. Having her there sends a signal that this is a critically important issue to you. Tell me about that and why you think this is an important issue specifically to win this election.
It's important to me because I have 5 daughters from the college all the way down. And to have Riley there that's supporting an issue and supporting for women's rights, women have spent their blood, sweat, and tears for such a long time to get to that point, only for it to be taken away by male mediocre athletes who want to compete in women's sports. But to have Riley there, to have the moral courage, and that's really what it's going to take to get people off the sidelines and into the game. And let me tell you what, courage never quits. And having Riley there to be that voice for all women, who I support, it means a lot to me. And that's what it's going to take in this year in 2024. People with courage. So,
you're a father of 5 children, you all got a special place in heaven because I have 5 daughters, and sweet Matt has a special place in heaven for the 5 girls that he's raising. And I think, I do think that it's an important issue, and it's still something that has impacted this area in Virginia. When you're looking at, Congress is, I got to tell you, it's not a fancy job at all. Like it is talking about people just trying to just destroy the other people, and you don't get there doesn't seem to be a lot of solutions coming out of Congress these days. What in your if you were to become congressman, what would be your top 2 or 3 issues that you're going to hone in on and say, look, this is what we have to focus on to move the needle?
Well, let me tell you what, Mercedes, and I appreciate the question. And I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go there. 2 years as a representative, that's all you get. And, time is limited. So I'm not there to attend DC cocktail parties or softball games or anything like that. I'm rolling my sleeves up and getting to work for the people. And I think that's what is lost. We need to dig deep, 1776 deep, selfless service, leadership. That's serving people over outside interests. So my top issues is being a firewall. I definitely want to tackle the national debt because I think that's a national security issue, and reducing interest rates as much as possible, and getting that controlling the out of control spending. It's got to be controlled. The border, fund the wall. That's my number one priority. As far as the border, fund the wall. It's there, and then education. We got to get the federal government out of the education business. So I'm going to just do everything I can to dismantle the Department of Education because that's a state issue in my opinion. And guess what? I'm not going to shy away from the abortion issue. There's no reason why the Democrats should win this seat because they're not offering anything. And I'm not going to shy away from that issue as well. So,
well, all right. We're speaking with combat vet Jeff Sachs, a retired lieutenant colonel from the U.S. Army, and he's announcing today that he's running for the Republican nomination for the 7th District. You said that Democrats, all they want to talk about is Trump and MAGA and January 6th and insurrection. There's a reason why that's all Abigail Spanberger and the other Democrats want. There's a reason why Joe Biden is doing his insurrectionist speech over at Valley Forge, because it tends to work for them. It works in a district like the 7th, by the way, scaring a bunch of independent voters and trying to think, well, if you're pro-Trump, then you must be a nightmare. How you say you're not going to stand for it? How will you avoid this? How will you deal with that issue and go right to the voters with your positions? Because the Democrats aren't going to want to let you.
Oh, well, I've actually had actual bullets flying at me downrange, Larry. Oh. So I'm not afraid of any type of attacks personally or whatever. I'm not afraid of any of that. Because again, courage never quits. But I'm going to take it to the people and just talk about the issues. And people don't want to talk about it. I'm going to go on offense here, and the Republicans lose because we stay on defense. And we got to get out of that business. We got to go into areas that we are, feel uncomfortable with going into, and so I'm going to do that. I'm absolutely going to just take my people.
All right, it's going to be quite a race, and we're looking forward to being an open forum for all of the candidates for that Republican nomination. The 7th District is critically important, and we're looking forward to seeing how your campaign develops. Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Sachs, today's the day, 11 a.m., at the Silk Mill in Fredericksburg. Riley Gaines will be there as well, and good luck in the campaign, sir.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Mercedes. Have a great one.
It's 7:15. WMAL traffic and weather every time.